Does anybody have any questions?
I think you guys did a really good job bringing us through your stories and everything, and I was just curious, I know you kind of touched on it, that you don't necessarily, I mean, you still have some ed thoughts, but you can kind of, this is for anybody, do you still have to deal with some ed thoughts? And another part of that is, are there any weird food rituals you still have, you know, like how picking up the food apart and different things like that, or is that completely gone as well?
So the question was, do you have food rituals or ed thoughts? I don't really have eating disorder thoughts anymore. My therapist actually once said that it takes a while for the volume, like it's just like a radio or something that you turn on the volume. You have to like feed yourself for the thoughts to lessen. And it took me about a year after I've gained the weight to stop with the thoughts and be okay with eating. And for a while, something that helped me was challenging myself. Like I would set up a challenge each week. Like Saturday I'll try a muffin. On Wednesday I'll try this. And it kind of became a thing that I do all the time. And that was a problem that I would have to have it on that day. That was a ritual. But now, I mean, I'll have it 2 o'clock in the morning, a different time. And it's, yeah.
I don't have too much to add, but personally, no, I don't have any ed thoughts, and it's wonderful. And like, you know, sometimes they're like the normal teenage things, you know, it's like, where do you draw the line between like, ew, I don't like the way this shirt looks on me, and like ed thoughts. And actually, I mean, I don't really have either of those, but I'll have friends, healthy friends, who will be like, ew, I ate so much, I'm so fat. And like, I'll be the one now to say like, no, you're beautiful, we're both beautiful. And like, we'll be like, say it together, I am beautiful. And like, it's fun. Like, I love being the one to like encourage them now. And even though they're just normal teenage girls, you know, and it's great.
Another incident I had was at camp. There was this counselor. I'm a camp counselor, and there's a camp counselor who's younger than me, and the kids are 2 and 3, and she was going around the table to the kids. They were like, so who do you think's the cutest? Who do you think? I go up to her. I was like, you can't do that. And she's like, why? I'm like, they have self-esteem. She's like, no, they don't. I was like, are you kidding? Yes, they do. And I got like really angry at her because, I mean, and then at another internship at a school, this girl, she was like, I'm beautiful. And I was like, yeah, you really are. And I just love when people embrace their inner beauty, because that's what's most important.
Yeah, I second both of what you guys said. But personally, I wouldn't, I don't know. I wouldn't say I have eating disorder thoughts. Definitely some negative thoughts come up, but I kind of don't think they're related to the eating disorder anymore. I mean, I have like bad thoughts about like, oh, maybe this boy doesn't like me or something like that, but I kind of feel like that's like normal teenage thoughts, and those are, I mean, pretty rare. Like I've done a lot of work, and I've come a very long way so that I can stand up here and say that I really am pretty almost completely happy with myself. But I mean, there are some times when I think that's just a normal teenage thing. Like Becky said, like, oh, maybe this shirt isn't the best on me, or like whatever, stuff like that. As for food rituals, no, we actually, as Leanna said, like we just love going out. That's like our favorite like thing, just going out to eat and whatever. I mean, it's really become like a non-event, or I guess a fun event in our lives, just, you know, how we deal with food. So that's a really nice thing to say, yeah.
And then like just to like put it out there, like I don't know if you have like Ralph's Italian Ices over here. We're from Long Island. Rita's. Ralph's is better. My friend works at Ralph's, and she texts me and be like, try this flavor, and then I'll call them up and we'll be like, let's go and try the new flavor. I mean, I used to have a fear of trying new food, and that's like one of my new favorite things. I'm like known for the girl to like go to, what restaurant should I go to, which place, and yeah.
I knew things were getting better. It was right before when I started telling people I was leaving New York, so it was not such a conflict of interest anymore. They started coming to visit me at the end of the day in the office, and we're going to every bakery, ice cream shop and coming and with the nutritionist who they worked with and me, and we would sit at 5 p.m. in one of the exam rooms having dessert every day. Not every day, like once a week. And so I've been with them for that, which is very unusual. And I will say for any of my patients here, I don't do that normally with current patients. But I ate with them and saw that they were eating desserts and things very normally. And then as sort of a treat, but right before I left, we all went out to dinner. And we ate a meal together. And I noticed about myself, I wasn't watching them. We sat and we ate. But I think that says a lot, that clearly nothing weird was going on. Nothing obvious was going on. And they wanted dessert. So as far as rituals, I would say from my experience, which is highly unusual that I would know and be in that experience, because I don't do groups and meals like some of the other treatment providers do in programs. That's not my typical thing. I know that I can honestly say when they eat, I don't think anyone would know. And that's actually a question I often ask patients is, would a friend who didn't know you know that you have an eating disorder if they ate lunch with you at school? Would they think you were doing anything unusual? Or an adult, anyone? And that's something like when they think they're doing better, I sometimes ask a patient that, what do you think about how you're eating? Anyway, so just from my perspective.
Thank you.
And so has it been like a gradual evolution for you as far as reestablishing friendships and the thoughts going and the getting back to normal eating? And can you talk a little bit about that, like how that's evolved?
Okay, so question was, has it been like a gradual process? You guys?
For me, with friendships and family was a big thing. I had a big problem with my brother because he had the opposite problem than me, and he would overeat. And it was really hard at meals. One person, my mom telling me to eat, and then the other one, oh, you need to watch what you eat. And that was really hard for me and really hard for him. And there were points at dinner tables where I would be yelling and screaming. And there was a point where he was at college, when he left for college, and I was like, Josh, are you coming home? And he was like, no, I'd rather stay here. And that was really hard for me not to see my brother because he didn't want to be around me. And I had to work to gain back a relationship with him. And with my parents, I mean, they were always there for me. It was hard for them. And I'm really close with my parents now. And my friends, I mean, I made new friendships. The ones that didn't work out, oh well, but I have really good friendships now, and I wouldn't trade them. And for the ones that stuck around, I know it was really hard for them, but that just made our friendship stronger.
I would definitely say that time was one of my big healers. I guess I would split it up into like the eating and the body image. I remember with the eating, for a long, long time after the hospital, I followed a very, very rigid meal plan. And as I already mentioned, like my goal weight I viewed as an absolute maximum. Also my meal plan I viewed as an absolute maximum. And if I ate like a calorie over, I would freak out. So I guess gradually, it wasn't like one day I decided, okay, I'm just going to eat whatever I want today. No, it was more like, okay, I'm going to try. I think I was with them actually, and I said, like, I'll try something, out of the ordinary today. And I started doing that, a little bit more. And I was going for like weekly weigh-ins, and I was already at my like maintenance level. And I realized, things are just kind of hanging out and nothing was really happening. And I really do believe in like a set point where like you have to be at and your body wants to be at to be healthy and where it kind of wants to stay at. And so gradually, once I had that comfort, I was kind of able to start to eat, more varied meals, different challenge foods, and just now, now I eat whatever I want. I don't follow a meal plan at all. And, it's great. So it definitely was like a time thing and it evolved over time.